Carla and Brandon here from Games, Brains and Headbanging Life, gbhbl.com for short. And it's our top 10 favourite songs of the year. Yes, forget EPs, forget albums, forget live performances, forget all of that. Individual songs. 10 songs from anything you wanted, any genre you want, whatever. It's 10 songs that we heard each that we just fucking love and have listened to throughout the year and whatever and stuff like that. And that's what we're going to run you down. 10 to one with a little bit of music playing after each song, just so you can kind of get an idea why hopefully you'll hear it and be like, yeah, that sounds like a great song. I'll go listen to the full thing. And then you'll be like, yeah, they were right. That's a banging song. Maybe, maybe not. Doesn't always work that way because sometimes our individual song tastes are a little bit weird. And sometimes they've almost always doubled up or roughly got, I think there was that one year where it's like Lorna Shore had the album of the year and the song of the year and stuff like that. That's not the case this year, though. Although a lot of them do. There's a lot of crossover between favorite EPs and albums and songs, naturally.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
For those that have been keeping track, I'm now wearing Moon Reaper, which was bought at Mangata, and Cryptopsy, which was bought at Incineration Fest. Yeah. Probably should have worn that in the actual live performances when you mentioned Cryptopsy, but there you go.
You didn't know.
I know. 10 songs then. Right. I'll get us started then with what I think is my 10th favourite track of the year. And it comes from an artist called Welsh Wolf. This is actually an artist that's pretty big in many other factors of their work, but branched out to do some solo stuff that sits in the world of alternative rock. Very commercial, very modern, very likable, very catchy, very kind of arena-based rock and roll, but with a lot of heart and soul. And the EP, came up an EP called A Voyeur's Dream. I really liked. I really did. And then we got to a track called The Promise at the end. And this is fucking beautiful. And what drives me nuts is that I love it. I think it's so pretty, but it's such a miserable song. Lyrically, it's so miserable and so not nice that I'm like, I can't. Like, it's not like its story is something I can't relate to, but it's still so so lovely. So the story I kind of do is like one of my favorite songs in the entire world is an Art Garfunkel song. I know, shock, right? But it's called All I Know by Art Garfunkel. It's a solo song by him, and I think it's one of the most beautifully sung tracks ever. Like just for vocals, soft piano melody, and just glorious vocals. This is as close to that. I think this is a very similar track in regards to the vocals and the melody, and it's just acoustic guitar, and it's just how pretty it all sounds. I just love it. It's called A Promise by Welsh Wolf. That's my number 10.
Just like the promise we
You said more words about your track number 10 than like you normally put in an album review.
Did I? Sorry, I got carried away there. I'll
Yeah,
keep
that's
it
fine.
tighter.
You started talking about Art Garfunkel at some point. I was like, where
Yeah,
are
I
you going
just
with that?
yeah.
Um, I've never heard of it. That's unsurprisingly, but I guess yeah, that's the way it goes sometimes, isn't it? Number 10 for me, which you probably have heard and have listened to as well, which is the song Submerged by the Mask Wonders Argaria. Released as a single, actually. I like it, just one of a couple of singles they released this year, but this being my favorite one of them, which came out on the 12th of August. I think I remember reading this bit, so if I'm wrong on this, like, don't worry about it. But I think it was like to celebrate their signing to Century Media Records or something like that.
Sounds about right. Does ring a bell, yeah.
Yeah, but look, love Gary. I know you're a fan of them as well, and this to me is a wonderful song, showing more changes, more growth, a bit more focus on some of the clean emphasis in it, but still having plenty of heavy, loads of atmosphere, loads of emotion. Yeah, really, really strong song. Love it.
Yeah, I think it showcases kind of the direction they're heading in. Number 9, New Miserable Experience, which is the name of the band, is a brand new kind of super group which features members of Rivers of Nile, X Revocation, Rosetta, and more. But it's not music that you think. It's not like, oh, well, these are all quite heavy bands. No, this is like a synth rock, post-punk kind of band. And the release of the song Payback from God, which was their debut single, kind of had a lot of people going, I fucking hate that. I fucking loved it. I listened to this almost daily. It probably could be higher if the rest that's above it weren't just so much better structurally, but I find this so staggeringly infectious and lovable and likable. Since then, they released a second single, which is even more unique, and I love that too. And now they've announced a debut album, which is Gilda Lily, and that's actually not out till January, 23rd of January. But yeah, Payback from God by New Miserable Experience. Fucking hell, I love this track.
Mad. Yeah, I was the same as like I was listening to the bands they were from. I'm like, okay, cool, this sounds like it could be good, and then it took a turn. Mine's next one's pretty straightforward. Such as the quality of this band that they only released one song this year, and I still think it's fucking fantastic. And it's Melkin's Tale by Ghosts of Atlantis. It came out on the 25th of July by I didn't even know this was at the time, because it said at the bottom of Apple Music time that it said it came out by Devil Head Records. I thought, okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, but I love the band. This isn't transformational or anything like that from them. There are evolutions in there, slight, shifts. But it's very much Ghosts of Atlantis, doing what they do, superbly heavy at times, great symphonics, lots of melody, catchy vocals, choruses that are quite epic and grand and everything like that. So for me, the perfect song, really, so I was very, very happy with it.
Yeah, it sounds good live as well.
Yeah, it does actually, yeah.
Number 8 is a bit of a sad one, really, because it's the last track in theory we'll get from this band ever, unless they ever decide to come back. But it's Ithaca by Ithaca. Of course, Ithaca wrapped up and finalized and finished up this year. But to do that, they also released one final track and named it after themselves, Ithaca. And what a fucking track to go out on, right? It's already powerful enough because of that, and it's got all the things about this band that makes them so fucking good. The technicality, the chaos, the melodies, the mix of brutality. But honestly, the way this one ends, and it's so epic and it's so emotional, it's truly staggering. I'm gutted I'll never get to hear this live. But yeah, that's number 8, Ithaca by Ithaca.
Cool way to go out as well there. The song with your name, it's a legacy in it.
Yeah.
Number 8 for me then is the song The Resurrection of Kariba by Carrick Angren from their The Cult of Kariba EP, which features on the EP list. Yep. I love this song, man. I think it's fucking genius. I really do. I absolutely adore it. I love the theatrics of it, the creativity, the kind of grandiosity of it, and then the sudden heaviness and that kind of back and forth with it. From that intro piano, which kind of puts me into these visions of sitting in a theater, preparing to watch like some form of musical, into the kind of storytelling aspect of the band and everything out on the way. It twists, it turns, like it has a bit of everything in it. I love it.
From thy grave and light that
They're like, I don't have many bucket list bands left, but I've never seen Carrick Anger in live. They're
No,
like a
neither have I.
bucket list band these days. But I want it to be like, I don't want it to be like, oh, they're playing the Black Heart. I want it to be like, I want a show. I want theatrics. I want a fucking stage show. And I think like this EP and even the album, because it's an album that pre whatever that word is, that leads this album. This EP is like a sequel or a continuation in it. So it's
Yeah.
like, I'd love to see this shit live, like properly. Number 7, leaning into a kind of post-hardcore, post-punk dream pop world. It is Male Gaze with the song "Get Well" from the EP Too Late Now. This was released as a single initially, and I was like, I've never heard of this band. It was sent to me, check it out for the slam. I listened to it and was like, this is fucking incredible. This is so weird and I love it, and it's making me feel like I'm high, but I'm also so in love with the catchiness of it. It's wonderful. I think this band's so cool, so special. I'm so glad I found them. I love the EP overall, but this track's particularly special. Get Well by Male Gaze.
You're so underground, man.
Hold on, man, because it's after from 5 downwards, you're going to be like, oh, right, this all makes sense now.
I'm like, I feel like I'm listening, like, you know, here's a Metallica song. That sort of level.
You mentioned, because Ghosts of Atlantis are like fucking, those massive bands.
Well, weirdly, a band that have come up in every one of our videos that we've recorded tonight so far, but not necessarily because they're in the list. They just got mentioned a lot as well. And that is at number 7. It's the song "House of Light" by Rivers of Nile.
Okay, yeah.
From the album Rivers of Nile, self-titled album that came out on the 30th of May. I love the album. Mentioned that already. I think it's fantastic. I think it is the hopefully kind of settled point of what's been a period of change and transformation and trying to sort of rediscover themselves and find like what they love and why they do what they do, you know. And if this is where they've kind of settled, then I'm a very, very happy guy. I genuinely think the album's fantastic. There are a lot of songs that I like a lot, but this is the one that I come back to time and time again. It just has the most remarkable chorus, heavy as hell, kind of building up to it, and then this huge kind of emphatic chorus, and you know, I love it. Fantastic track.
Staying it. It's when you love an album, but there's one track that you know you kind of just gets. You know, if there was a counter next to each track, it's that one's just that bit higher.
It's like, you know, when you go in like, oh, I fancy listening to like this album today. I'm going to listen to an album rather than just a straight up shuffle. I just want to listen to an album, and I'll go into it, and you can just choose a song. You start your starting song, which is where your shuffle starts at, and it's like, right, I'll go down the list. I go, right, I'll start at House of Light.
Yeah.
That one will plays. Then sometimes I'll be like, oh, I won't bother anymore on the album. I'll switch to something else now.
Yeah. You lied to yourself, tricked yourself into thinking you were listening to a full album, but you just wanted to hear it. Okay, number 6 for me is the song Ego Death by Halfway Home from the EP Winter. This was mentioned quite highly in our EP list. This is the final track in the EP, an EP that is incredibly emotional, powerful, difficult to listen to at times. In this song, the vocalist's voice will actually break, like actually quiver and break, which is truly potent. But this track is actually quite positive. It's about surviving and coming out the other side of it. This is beautiful, but it's really it's a difficult listen as well. But my God, is it powerful? I listen to this every so often, just as like to refresh myself, remind myself of how great this band is and how they really do deserve to get a bit more like attention. But if you've only got an opportunity to listen to one, check out Ego Death. It's my 6th favorite track of the year.
Number six for me then is the band 1914. The song is a bit of a mouthful, but 1918 Part 3 ADA, in brackets, ADA stands for A Duty to Escape. And it is also features a guest vocalist, which we're both also fans of, in Aaron Stainthorpe.
Hmm.
Um, so this comes from the 1914 Ukrainian band. Obviously, the album only came out November the 14th via Napalm Records. The album's called Viribus Unitus, which apparently means United Forces. Wonderful album. The band are definitely changing, definitely evolving, but they are still extremely fucking heavy and obviously still very much, as they have to by their names, focused on and around war stories. But a darker view of it than, say, the power metal sort of style war. A large part of this album comes in another trilogy of tracks, part one, part two, and part three, unsurprisingly. This is part three of it. It's really, really deeply like personal and and real and authentic, right? It's telling like real stories of a real person and his story. So it's a Ukrainian soldier, real events and personal account from a Ukrainian soldier in the KUK army, tracing his timeline between 1914 and 19. And like the names of the three songs, if I drop the part ones and part twos, is Wounded in Action, Prisoner of War, and then A Duty to Escape. And it's his stories around that. Part three, A Duty to Escape, is more solemn, still very, very heavy at times, but very much more solemn. And that's where Aaron Stainthorpe's vocals kind of really add a lot to this song. So you're talking about sort of solemn, more melancholic, doom styled verses at times that then grow into the 1914 style that we know, and then you end up with the two of those styles combined, where you've got the harsh vocals and Aaron Stainthorpe sort of singing voice at the same time. It's huge and way more expansive, I think, than anything 1914 have done before, which is fantastic. So, a wonderful song.
So we're going to reach a point over the Christmas period where we're going to stop doing stuff for the site for over a week. First time in a long, long time we've ever really done that. And I'm going to use that as an opportunity to go to albums. I've created a list that basically these are albums I've ever not been able to listen to because of time/reviews, or like you reviewed and so I didn't get to them before you did,
Yeah.
or vice versa. And this is one of the ones on my list. You actually nabbed this one before I did, because I'd covered the singles. So I was like, right. And then it just was gone. And I was like, oh, let me check. Oh, yep, it's in Brendan's. Well, that's that then. Yeah. I don't interfere after that. It's no point for Vienna. So there you go. Right, 5 onwards, folks. If you know me, it's all going to get a bit weird and familiar. So we begin with Pupil Slicer and the track Nomad from the latest album, Fleshwork. I had a toss up between a couple of tracks from this album, but Nomad is the one that I just think shows the development of Pupil Slicer more than anything else. This is incredible. It's a real development of Kate's vocals, singing voice, the ability to be clean. This is fucking catchy. It's simplified compared to some of the Pupil Slicer tracks of old, but this is the future Pupil Slicer. I think it's way more exciting. I think it's way more accessible, but it's also detailed and it's filled with depth. This is so clever, but it's infectious, it's catchy, it's got groove. You can move to it, you can dance to it, you can pit to it, but you'll also feel a shit ton with it. So yeah, number 5, Nomad by Pupil Slicer.
Fifth on my list, then, and I imagine these will feature on your list somewhere, but for me, it's Conjurer and the song "This World Is Not My Home."
Hmm.
Um, I didn't really expect it, I suppose. Like first of all, there's a lot of songs on this album that I think are absolutely phenomenal, right? And I think I did weigh up like a couple of different ones. I'm trying to think which ones they were. I think A Plea was one of them. Let Us Live was another one where I was like, okay. But I love this song. Like I go back to this song a lot. I think it's fucking stunningly beautiful. It is dark. It is gloomy, but it's also just absolutely fucking beautiful. Carries immense weight and heaviness, more in the style than like I'm just gonna blast you, you know. So it's a super strong album, but I think this song for me stands out.
Mhm.
But I would say, and I did think this when I was writing it because I did change which one it was going to be a couple of times. That I think that because this album is so good and it only came out on the 24th of October, that I'll probably be playing this one for a while. And I've got a feeling like my favorite song will switch.
Mm,
But yeah, as it does every now and then, it'd be like in the next
yeah.
month, if you were to ask me, it might be one of the others. But right now, this is a song that I keep going back to.
It is incredible. Okay. Number four, Deaf Heaven from the album Lonely People with Power. I could have chosen really any track from this album. I did. I actually had it as one up until today. And then at the last minute, because I realized I was listening to this track often more than any others, I switched it to Winona. It's Look, Lonely People with Power is a staggering album, one of the best of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. And this return to form, this return to form, sorry, because it's not like lost form, blackened form. The Deaf Heaven that I love, the Deaf Heaven that gives me 10 out of 10 albums. There's no track to me that defines it more than Winona, which also has elements of the last two albums as well. There is more melody, there's more catchiness, there is a little bit more attempt to get you moving rather than just blasting you, and rather than just being overly long and elaborate, it's focused. This Deaf Heaven, the modern Deaf Heaven, is focused rather than being like, here's a 15-minute long track. This is more like, here's a 7-minute track. It's still going to smash you around the head with it, but it's going to have melody. It's going to show a bit more depth. It's going to have a chorus and so on. And that is Winona. It's stunning. Could have been any track from the album, but this is the one I'm listening to a lot, really more than any else. Yeah, number four.
Number four for me is a song Demi-Human by V. Hayes Miasma, which came out on the album. It came out in the album Praise Me, Erase Me, which is that track on the album that came out on the 7th of November. So again, reasonably recent. I love the album. I think it's fantastic. This is my favorite song on it at the moment, but it's my favorite song. It's V. Hayes Miasma, so stylistically, it kind of is what you'd expect it to be. It's quite a long song. It's quite patient. It twists and it turns, and it goes from you know, cleaner sections into doomier sections into heavier sections, and back and forward and all over the place at different times. There'll be parts in the songs where you think like, oh, they stopped and there's like 4 minutes left, and it's just because it's just a single note, and then wait for a bit, that whole kind of patience side of it. But this song, it's just it's beautifully atmospheric and emotional.
I'm
Love it.
shocked. I'm shocked that they, like that. That's what I expect. As soon as I hear the name, I'm like, yep, okay, that's what we got.
Yeah, we do shit they do shit at their pace, bruv, not ours.
Yeah. Okay. Number three. Yep, it wouldn't be a year without Sugar Horse featuring somewhere. Would you like me to be the cat? So basically, we didn't really get much music from Sugar Horse until the end of the year when they released two tracks pretty much in the same week. Two very different tracks. We had What's Your ETA? Let's Have a Tear Up, which is very noise based, very intense, proper Palestine track as well. And I like that. I did. But I didn't love it. And I was a bit like, okay, well, don't always love everything. I know it might seem like I love everything Sugar Horse do, and I do for the most part, but there's always that one or two tracks where I'm a bit like, oh, maybe not. I mean, not recently, to be fair, actually. It's been a long. No, you know what? I'm talking nonsense. I love everything. I'm lying to myself. Um,
Judges
but
them by how many tears he sheds.
Well, that's the thing is like the power of What's Your ETA, Let's Have a Tear Up was there, but it wasn't necessarily that it didn't touch my soul in quite the same way. And then Would You Like Me to Be the Cat came along, and I was like, okay, this is a bit different. He said this is a bit different compared to the other track, but it's more in keeping perhaps what they do, but it's also a sign of where they're going. And where they're going, I want to be along for the ride. It's stunning. It's fucking stunning. It's a track that just grows and grows in intensity and power and beauty. It's the sugar horse that I've fallen in love with over the past few years. I'm happy with the chaotic stuff, the noise, the drony doom bass, things like that. But man, give me the melody, give me the shoegaze stuff, give me the expansive stuff any day. This is what I live for. And Would You Like Me to Be the Cat? I love it. I really love it.
Interesting song name, as is their way.
Yeah.
Number three for me then. So I'm usually quite good with pronunciation, but forgive me for this one. Song name I can do, no problem.
Mhm.
Forlorn. This is by the band The Berghainer Fright. So they are German band, post, well, you can tell probably by the name anyway, German band,
Yeah.
but post black metal band. Album In Urn came out on 12th September via Season of Mist. Interesting one just to point out as well that I'm pretty sure I'll have to double check this. These are one of the bands that were announced for Incineration Fest next year, which is really fucking exciting for me.
Interesting.
Anyway, it's post black metal, right? So it's meant to lean on the emotion and the atmosphere side of things very, very heavily. Something that they do a lot. The album is predominantly sung in German. This one song in particular, which is because it's meant to be quite an introspective album, and it's meant to be looking at a lot of like the complexities of like human life in modern times and that sort of thing. You know, it's not meant to be, oh my God, demons are coming out in this icy cold mountain. It's not that sort of black metal. It's, you know, it's
Yeah.
deeper than that. This song is called Forlorn, which is obviously an English word, and it's purposely sung in English. It's meant to be focused around the idea of like humanity and this kind of plea for emotional refuge. And they felt it was such a universal message that everybody suffers from these days that they wanted to sing this one specifically in English so that it would reach more people. Um, it's a very beautiful song. It does have a lot of heaviness in it from the black metal side of things, but it is one of those twisting, turning songs. So you're talking like gentle starts, building up, you know, explosions of dark music, softening back down, moving you around, and like playing with your emotions and everything like that on the way. It's a magical song. I love it.
Cool. I checked. You're right. They are at Incineration Fest. I also know what stage they're playing. What would be your ideal stage for them?
Ballroom.
They're in the ballroom.
Ah, cool. There you go.
Happy
I
days.
was like, there was a roundhouse, but I don't want to walk that far.
Oh, I thought you were gonna be like, no, nope, turns out they're in a black harp. No, yeah, they're apparently in the ballroom, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Well, I assumed there'd be, yeah, Season of Mist band, so I was assuming there must be, yeah, there's a bit of scale there, isn't there?
Yeah, they are like on a poster, they're quite high up, yeah. Number two, and weirdly, you actually mentioned this track as a possibility of yours, but you didn't include it. You went somewhere else. It is "Let Us Live" by Contra from the album Unself. I went back and forth on this, but I made the decision. Originally, this was also could have been number one, but you'll understand why it's not number one in a while. But I went back and forth on this, and what made the decision was It Live. It Live is just fucking incredible. To me, it's the best summation of this album and where Conjure are at, even though there's so much to find elsewhere. It pains me to narrow it down to one specific track, but there's no way I can do a top 10 tracks of the year and not include this. Because when it was released as a single, it was like, what the fuck is this? What am I hearing? Like, what is going on? This is crazy. This is intense. This is stunning. This is beautiful. It's emotional. It's powerful, but it's also so fucking heavy. That's it. And then it was hearing it live that just kind of added the extra. Yeah, this is one of the best songs I've heard this year. It's the second best song I've heard this year. Contra's "Let Us Live."
becomes a demon.
Number two for me, this one fucking surprised me.
Okay.
So this is the song With Dirt from My Grave by Malevolence. Um, it surprised me
Yeah.
because I don't dislike Malevolence, but I've never really synced with them. I'm like, oh, I like that song, I don't like that song, the here or there, whatever, it is what it is. I've never had that song that just kind of like that wow moment. Like, do you know what I mean? That song where you're like, oh shit, that's the fucking track for me. Until this one, which is the last track on their album, which also came out this year, obviously, where only the truth is spoken back in June. I don't even know why. I fucking love it. I love everything about it. It kind of, I don't know why, it reminds me of earlier days of metal. It makes me feel like Pantera sort of days, and it's got that groove and the
Yeah.
vocal pattern as it goes into that chorus side of things. I think it's fucking amazing. I know because I kept a count of this when it happened because at the point I just thought, what the fuck are you doing? On one of my long trips up north, when this song, during a period of me like being like, oh my God, I love this song. Wow. I've listened to this song 17 times in a row. But as it got to the end, I just pressed on the little car thing on my steering wheel to start it again. And then at the 18th time, I was like, this is fucking stupid now. Switch to another song for Christ's sake. And I was just like, honestly, I fucking adore it. I think it's my favorite ever Malevolent song, and it's my
Really?
second
Yeah.
second favorite song of the whole year. So,
That's mad, isn't it?
you
Like, oh,
know,
you are. I could never have predicted that. I mean, it's funny how
me
a song just
neither. Yeah.
grabs you. And it's interesting you said it because I do think Malevolence are heading in a more Pantera direction. I think they've seen a niche and they're kind of moving a little bit away from the hardcore beatdown crowd and they're
Well,
moving into more groove metal.
they got me on board now.
There you go. Clearly it's working.
I still feel a fucking sense of regret. Moving faster, losing track of the time. Memories of everything I leave behind. And what ends do I choose to suffer?
Okay, talking about being on board. Right. Okay, look, so hear me out, folks. I know this is going to seem so fucking obvious because it's me, but it can't always be the case. So, Mole announced new album and obviously drop a single at the same time. The single is Garland. And like I am so fucking nervous because it should be no secret that Mole are one of my all-time favorite bands. I pretty much listen to either album, Diorama or Yord, regularly. There are songs that are overplayed. Brrraaains is probably one of the most overplayed songs in his fucking house or flat previously and all that. But there's no guarantee that I'm gonna like it because of course they're evolving, they're changing, developing and stuff like that. And like I'm like, oh my god, new Mole. Oh my god, what if I don't like it? What if it's just okay? This doesn't happen to me with Mole. And oh my fucking Christ. I have listened to this song. It's easily triple figures now. And it's only been out like easily over 100 times. Like when it first came out, I basically played it for I felt like hours straight. Maybe it wasn't probably that long. Repeat. Um, from an album that comes out in January, Dream Crush. This is more I love and adore, but it's developed. The clean singing is more prominent. The melody is more important than this, but it's still got that crushing, explosive, powerful black gaze that they do so well. It's even now I can hear it on my head, and I'm just like, oh my god, how good is this song? It kills me that Mole haven't even released the album yet, and they've already got the track of the year for this year. And the thing is, they've also released a second single, which is marginally. Now, I didn't want to put both in. I thought, come on, Carl, you can't put both fucking in this. This is just taking a piss. But it's marginally not as good as Garland. But that's two tracks. I mean, I've already basically decided that this album is the album of the year for 2026
I
already.
was going to say, like,
You know what I
place
mean?
your
Like,
bets now on it.
yeah, place your fucking bets, basically. But like, who knows? But obviously, lots of tracks to go. But yeah, like, honestly, I can't believe how fucking good this song is. They're playing over here in next year as well. I'm in the process, fingers crossed, of arranging an interview. I've chatted to them before. That'll hopefully happen in the new year as well. Like, I'm on the Mole train, and it's all because of Garland. Truly stunning, my track of the year.
Good variety.
Okay, here we go. Ooh, what you got?
So my track of the year, and number one is probably not so surprising, especially not to you, I don't think. So it's Orbit Culture, and it is the song "The Tales of War,"
Okay, cool.
which is their lead single from their new album "Death Above Life." Came out on the 3rd of October. From the statistics on my music players and everything like that will tell everybody instantly that this is my most played song overall this year. Uh, I love it. I think the album's fucking phenomenal. I love the band. This song epitomizes where they are on this cycle, which is kind of where they were on the previous sort of EP and album anyway, but just with a bit, I think they've kind of pushed the production, pushed the melody a little bit further, but managed to capture the heaviness, the groove and everything like that still. They haven't like sacrificed anything to clean their sound up a little bit, I guess, and make them a little bit more globally accessible. It has everything I love about them, man. Like from that huge kind of beats and grooves in the intro to it, the catchiness, the kind of guitars and riffs, that massive chorus. I think it's perfection in sonic form.
There you go. Fascinating list. Some unique bands in there. Did we cross over into anything? Even release? I don't think we did.
Closest we came to it was probably both having a Conjurer song.
There you go. Actually, you know, that's a pretty good. It's pretty good, in fact, as well. For both of us to have a Conjurer song, and speaks so highly of the album, which probably should give you a clue as to where if that album's in our top 25 albums. I know it's in mine, and I suspect it's in yours based off how positive you were about the tracks.
Yeah, it's all right.
There's our 10 tracks of the year. What do you reckon? You got any thoughts on what we offered you up here? You got your own? Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed what you've seen, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It does help us out. You can find us at gbhbl.com and across all social media platforms. And if you really want to give us a bit of extra support, please consider buying us a cup of coffee over on our coffee page. Thank you.